Good morning, greetings, America, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 30 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health and nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. We welcome your calls on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about the longevity products or formulations or ingredients or skin health questions, if you have a comment or question about our Truth Skin Health products, or if you have a success story you'd like to share, we want to hear from you. Try to call in early so we can get to as many calls as possible at 844-236-6010. That's 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the program, you can call the phone team at 866-735-2470 or head over to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can order products off the website as well, of course. And you can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can make some money selling longevity products and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. If you would like to check out some high-end, premium, connoisseur skin health products, check out truthtreatments.com, especially our retinol 5% gel, also our Truth Serum Omega-6 Healing Cream, and Truth Balm. If you're dealing with accelerated aging or aging skin, or you want to prevent aging of your skin, or if you have acne, particularly back acne, our retinol 5% gel, really effective on back acne. Or if you just want a high-end skin health product, if you're tired of paying for water and wax and filler and preservatives and fragrances and stuff your skin doesn't need or doesn't want, you want to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. And finally, if you want to check out some good health information, my friend Melissa Galladay is doing a weekly call on various health subjects, including longevity products. She's titling it Longer Life with Longevity, and you can learn from a pharmacist like myself. I've known Melissa for almost 20 years, and she calls herself the nutritional pharmacist. Nutritional pharmacist Melissa Galladay is going to be talking longevity. She does it every Tuesday via Zoom, an app called Zoom, or software called Zoom, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Tuesday. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays. The number is 646-558-8656. That's 646-558-8656. And then you have to punch in a meeting code, which is 579-044-9276. All right. Thanks for joining us once again on The Bright Side. I want to finish up talking about cancer, the emperor of all maladies, as it has been called. Cancer kills nearly 600,000 people a year in this country alone, millions around the world. Can you imagine this? 600,000 people die and die miserable deaths. I've watched people die of cancer, as many of you have. It is miserable beyond words, and the chemotherapy and the radiation and the medical protocols that they use to deal with cancer are not much better, although, as I said yesterday, sometimes they're necessary. Cancer is not an organ issue or tissue issue, and this is where the problem comes from. The medical model addresses cancer as if it were an organ disease. liver cancer, lung cancer, bone cancer, brain cancer, skin cancer. But really, cancer is not an organ disease or a tissue disease at its most fundamental level. It is a cell disease. Surprise, surprise. All disease is cell disease, and that includes cancer. Cancer is not, we don't have lung cancer, we got lung cell cancer. We've got liver cell cancer, bone cell cancer. And this is an important distinction to make because, you see, the medical model can't do squat at the level of the cell. The medical model cannot do nothing at the level of a cell. It is an impotent failure at the level of a cell. That's why they have to take organs out and tissues out and radiate. Now, interestingly, super duper high-tech medicine, or pharmacological medicine, pharmacology, if you will, is really very proud of itself because now it's figured out how to work at the molecular level. See, there's 3 different levels where disease shows up, or there's 3 different levels where health shows up. There's 3 different levels of biology. You've got the big level, the macro level. That's the tissue or the organ. That's the lung or the bone. And then you got the teeny, infinitesimally, microscopically, submicroscopically small level. That's the molecule level. And then you got the in-between level. In between the tissue and the organ and the molecule, you got the cell. And the cell is where the action is. And the cell is what they never talk about because they can't do nothing at the level of a cell. So you got the old style of medicine, which is still present with us. It's still, old style medicine is still with us. And you got the old style medicine way of treating cancer, and that's to work at the tissue and the organ level. Then you got the newfangled way, which pharmacologists and drug companies are really proud of themselves about, in a newfangled way, and that's the molecule. They deal with trying to change the genetics or change the molecule inside a cell. But what they don't tell you is, because they can't do anything about it, is the disease doesn't show up at the teeny, tiny levels fundamentally, and it doesn't show up at the organ level fundamentally. It shows up at the cell level. Cancer is not a molecule disease first and foremost, and it's not a tissue disease first and foremost. It's a cell disease, as all diseases are. And we got power over the cell. That's the dirty little secret of medicine. The medicine doesn't have power over the cell. We do. There's only 3 things that make a cell sick. There's only 3 things that make a cell go cancerous. There's only one thing, really, and that's a burden, and there's only 3 things that cause that burden: starvation, suffocation, toxification. You're not going to hear that anywhere, folks. Only on this program we talk about that. Starvation, suffocation, and toxification of a cell leads to all diseases, including cancer. Cancer cell, what makes the disease called cancer unique among diseases is the fact that the genetics have been switched into a primitive way of operating, a primitive way of utilizing energy. Cancer is an adaptive mechanism. It's one of the ways a cell adapts to long-term burden, long-term abuse, long-term stress, which comes from starvation, suffocation, and toxification. All of this leads to an adaptive change, a genetic switch that gets turned on that causes the cell to apparently, seemingly grow in a chaotic fashion, but it's not really a chaotic fashion. It's more like an independent fashion. A cancer cell is growing in this independent way where it doesn't care about its neighbors, it doesn't care about the environment, it just cares about itself. Yesterday we finished up the program by talking about how a cancer cell operates like a unicellular organism. There's 2 ways cells can operate. They can operate as team players, which is what advanced cells do, highly evolved cells like animal cells or plant cells, our cells. These operate as a team player. They form structures, they form organs, and they form glands, and they form tissues. A cancer cell is more like a bacterial cell that doesn't form organs, that doesn't form macro structures, that doesn't form organized systems. A bacterial cell just operates on its own. It just divides and divides and divides. It's not a team player. It doesn't form teams. It doesn't form organized structures. And guess what? That's what a cancer cell is. A cancer cell is a cell that's operating like a bacteria. And that's all due to burden, starvation, suffocation, and toxification. And that's super important to recognize because that's where we have control. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here. Thanks for joining us on The Bright Side. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 at Central Time. If you miss a program, they're all archived at brightsideben.com, benfuchsarchives.com, and, well, that's it, benfuchsarchives.com and brightsideben.com. You can also, if you check out my Facebook page, my buddy Kevin in Russia, hello Kevin, if you're listening, he's been posting my all the programs up with no commercials on my Facebook page, and there's also a YouTube channel that you can get to from the links on the Facebook page that have all the programs without commercials, which is kind of cool. Thank you, Kevin, for doing that. If you're interested in checking out our Truth Skin Health products, including retinol 5% gel made without preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, water, it'll last you 6 months, folks. If you use it as directed, some people use it more than as directed. It's going to last you 3 to 6 months any way you use it. It's made with more retinol than you're going to find in any other skin health product. Most I've ever seen is 2%. This one is a 5% retinol, the real deal, not the fake stuff that you see sometimes on Amazon for $10. If you're seeing a retinol product, by the way, for $10 or $15, it's a fraud. And I purchased them. I've actually spent the $10 or $15 or $20 to purchase them. They're frauds. And it's just mean-spirited. If you want real retinol, you got to look for retinol in high enough concentrations, and you want to make sure that you're buying it from a reputable company. You're not going to find 5% retinol anywhere. Retinol is not just important for anti-aging, which it's probably the most significant, along with vitamin C, which you'll also find in our retinol 5% gel. Those are the two most important anti-aging products, but retinol is also very effective for dealing with acne, for dealing with dark spots, for dealing with dry, flaky type of skin, especially thick, flaky skin that's on the feet or on the heels. It's just a stupendously important ingredient. In fact, I consider it to be the only important ingredient, along with vitamin C, for dealing with skin health issues. You can find out all about it at truthtreatments.com. Truth Treatments, plural, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so we are talking cancer. I'm just going to say a few more things about it, and then we're going to finish up our discussion on the PPD hormones and the ketogenic diet. And by the way, both the PPD hormones, pregnenolone, progesterone, and DHEA, play a role in helping the body protect itself from cancer, as we'll talk about here in a minute. The ketogenic diet also is anti-cancer. Both of these strategies help strengthen a cell. They calm the body down. And this is really the problem when we have cancer. We're dealing with cells that are burdened, and we're dealing with a body in distress. Cells in distress and a body in distress. And the cellular distress involves, as we said before the break, starvation, suffocation, and toxification. This leads to inflammation, and make no mistake about it, behind all cancers you will find inflammation. It's one of the hallmark signs of cancer. I'm talking microscopic, teeny tiny cell inflammation, not a black eye. You don't see this kind of inflammation. It's microscopic, and of course it leads to, as we've said so many times, it leads to more starvation, suffocation, and toxification, which leads to more inflammation, which leads to more starvation, suffocation, and toxification. So what do? Well, you deal with the starvation, suffocation, and toxification. Now, if you're in the later stages of cancer, I want to reinforce this. If you're in the later, cancer severity is described in stages. You got stage 0 is the first stage, actually, and that's when you've got some cancer cells going, but it hasn't really spread. Sometimes you'll hear the term in situ, I-N-S-I-T-U, cancer or carcinoma in situ. In situ it's cancer technically, but actually, it's not really even cancer. It's a predisposition to cancer. It's abnormal cells that may become cancerous. That's stage 0. Stage 1, 2, and 3, the next levels are when you got the cancer. And the higher your number, the bigger your tumor, and the more it's spreading. So stage 1, 2, and 3 are the next stage. And if you're in stage 3 or even later stage 2, you might want to think about radiation, chemotherapy, or medical intervention, surgery, for example. Stage 4 is when the cancer spread, and if it's spread, well, it's spread. You're not going to be able to address a spreading cancer with surgery, obviously, because the cancer spread. Or chemotherapy is intense at this level, and as is radiation. So you got to do what you got to do if you're in the later stages. If you're in the super late stages, there's not much you can do except for make the body stronger. Stage 4 cancer does not lend itself very well to medical intervention, but there are stage 4 cancers that remit. They go backwards. And this is where taking care of the body is so important. The medical model of killing cancer, chemo, radiation, surgery, sometimes necessary. I'm not saying that it's not